how much money did I spend in my trip to Japan? In total, all of these expenses cost me about in Japan. As you can tell by the headline of this video, I'm gonna be exposing myself and telling you guys how much money I spent in my trip to Japan. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So first things first, flights. I booked this flight in mid-October and it cost me about $1,600. The next one is, of course, hotels. So I decided to stay at 2 different hotels. The first hotel was a 5-star hotel, and that one was called the Royal Park Hotel Iconic Osaka. But that first hotel, honestly, I felt like the vibe was more for businessmen and for people who are working. It was in a more remote area in Osaka, so there weren't a lot of tourists at all. We also had the breakfast there, and the breakfast buffet was also excellent. The second hotel that we stayed at is called Hotel Hankyu Respire Osaka, and that one is more in central Osaka. And this hotel was also extremely nice. This was a 4-star hotel, but honestly I feel like this one was a little bit better than the 5-star hotel, mainly because of its central location. It was very close to Osaka Station, which is a huge station, and that station alone can help you go almost anywhere in Osaka or even to nearby cities. We also paid extra to get the complimentary breakfast every single day. It was a breakfast buffet and the food was pretty good too. There were a bunch of Korean tourists there, as this hotel is a very popular destination for a lot of Korean tourists. So I felt like everybody there was Korean. So for the hotels, I split with my friend, and my friend's cousin also joined us later on the trip. The first hotel that I stayed at was me and my friend, and then the second hotel that I stayed at was split between me, my friend, and my friend's cousin. And for the hotels, it cost me about $400. During our time in Japan, I also really wanted to go to Universal Studios Japan, mostly because of the Super Nintendo World that's built there. In total, for everything, I spent about $214. That includes my one-day pass ticket, my fast pass, and all of the food and extra stuff that I bought at the park, which includes my power-up band. So this is called a power-up band, and it makes the experience at Universal Studios a lot more interactive because there is a QR code. And once you buy this costs around $30 USD. You put it on your wrist like this, and you basically gain points as you play different games. You can download the Universal Studios Japan app, and you can see on your phone the cumulative points that you've gained during that day, and then you can compare it with other teams. The next expense was buying a Sony ZV-1 camera, which I'm actually recording this video on right now, and it's doing an excellent job. I got a white one, and I bought the whole package. I bought the camera with the tripod and also an SD card. And I also was able to get it tax-free, and all of that cost me about $775. And compared to the US, that's about $100 cheaper. My next expense was my Nintendo Switch, which I really wanted to get after seeing my friend play Animal Crossing on here. It looks so fun. And I also bought 2 games. I got the Super Mario Deluxe game and also a Smash. And both of the games I really enjoyed. And all 3 of those things, the Switch and 2 games, cost me about $400. And that's a lot cheaper than in the US because this new Nintendo Switch OLED console on its own in the US costs about $350. So I essentially got 1 game for free. And my next expense was at Tonkyote, which is a big chain in Japan, and they basically have everything you can imagine. I would call Tonkyote kind of like an everything store. So you can buy everything from food, jellies, like medicines, even electronics. honestly, just anything and everything. They have their face masks, cosmetic related things.
Everything is just in one place.
And at this place I spent $260. This is a whole bag of medicines that I bought. Includes things like eye drops. This is a really good medicine if you're sick and have a bad cough. This is good if you have indigestion. 동전파스. A bunch of these peach flavored jellies. I also got this thing. It's good if you have really bad dry eyes and you're supposed to put this liquid on your eye and blink, and it's supposed to help clear your eyes. I haven't tried it yet, so I'll try it and then let you guys know if it's really good or not. Next was my Uber costs from New York to my JFK airport, and JFK airport back to my home cost me about $173. On the way from my home to JFK, it costs around $70, and usually it's about $60-70, but on my day coming back, there was construction going on, so there were no Ubers and no Lyfts, so I had to take a taxi. And there was also a lot of traffic that day, so the taxi cost me with tip and everything, it was around $100, which is why my whole Uber expense was about $173. I bought little things at the Osaka airport. I bought some ramen noodles and some pudding, and that cost me in total $19. We also took taxis in Japan. The weather was surprisingly pretty cold. I've heard that usually it's warmer, but the weather was pretty similar to New York City. So we took some taxis around the city. Taxis cost me about $47. I also did a lot of shopping in Japan, bought a bunch of gifts for people, and that cost me about $95. Also went to Japanese convenience stores and got a little bits of things there, here and there, and that cost me about $7. I also bought some clothes and also got 2 fanny packs from Uniqlo. This is actually something that I got from Japan. It's a very lightweight white turtleneck that I'm wearing right now. I really like it. It's very breathable material. This was about $7, and I got two fanny packs from Uniqlo. They're both the same design, just different colors. One is navy, one is white. It was about like $22 in USD. And this fanny pack is amazing. It's super lightweight. It carries an insane amount of stuff. The inside is so big. I was able to basically fit my passport, my Nintendo Switch, my phone, my portable charger for my phone, my credit cards. It has 2 little pockets here. My credit cards, all my cash, all my headphones, and all sorts of different things. So I really love this fanny pack, and I see myself using it a lot in the future. Machine washable as well. And I also converted some USD into yen, as I know that there are some places that only take cash in Japan and not credit cards. So I brought about 223 USD dollars and spent almost all of that in Japan. In total, all of these expenses cost me about $4,250 in Japan. This also includes all the food that I bought in Japan, the public transportation card that I used in Japan, and so yeah, that was how much I spent in my Japan trip. It's honestly pretty big expense, I would say, but I think that you can definitely save a lot of money if you don't buy a nice camera or if you don't buy the Nintendo Switch. Food in Japan is also more affordable, definitely a lot more affordable than it is here in New York City. So I feel like you can find a lot of good options for food and not go over your budget. Oh, one last thing that I forgot to include here. I also paid for a bus tour for Kyoto to see 4 different places in Kyoto, and I highly recommend this. I really enjoyed that experience, and that experience cost me about $40 in USD. So that was all the money that I spent in Japan. I really need to save more money now. And as always, thanks again for watching this video. And let me know in the comments if you're planning to go on a trip somewhere in 2023. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!